All right, I believe I'm live. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Karaoke Andy here, and it's once again my absolute honor and pleasure to be here trading live with you the DAX and FTSE, the EU indices. I hope you all have a great morning. The sun is shining over here in Prague. Lovely weather as well. And yeah, instead of being outside, we are here together, so make the best out of it. The disclaimer. This is no financial advice. Trading involves risk and past performance is not indicative of future results. Always conduct your own research before trading. This stream and its recording is for educational purposes only. This stream is governed by the stipulations set out on the website tradertom.com, tradertom.com/disclaimer. All right, so, and if you're wondering why I am here and not Tom, because we are on a holiday schedule. Tom posted that a couple days ago, so here's the important part. So Monday the 27th, that was yesterday, of July till Friday 31st of July. This Friday, this week's Friday. Karaoke Andy flying solo all week. So you got me this week every day for both the EU and US session. After that, 3rd of August till 21st of August, channel is completely closed. And then I do one more week, 24th till 28th of August. Yeah? 1 week, me flying solo. And then the week after, you get Tom all day, every day. And after that, probably till Christmas, regular schedule. All right. So that's about it. Let's take quickly a look at the DAX. The DAX, ladies and gentlemen. Is it funny when a German has to do a German accent? So, using an 18-point offset. And I fucked this one up already. Very good. So let's clone this. There you go. Yeah, you see those lines here. I mark down usually. Sometimes I just eyeball that, or now I did that for you. Some important levels, and to me, everything between cash sessions, I call that the overnight, and the high of that is this here. I will go to the structure after we trade the espresso. So markets open in a minute or so. So let's get that done first. Just wanted to tell you that an old high like that, an important high, may act as resistance, and we would be buying into resistance here. So let's hope that the opening volatility will break that resistance. So putting in the sell short order. I think it's maybe safe to already put in the long order. So I will take a screenshot of that, but since that bar is still moving, I might need to adjust that. So and I might not have a chance to post a screenshot of that, if that makes sense. Okay, so, and here we go. The short order needs to be a tiny little bit below. There we go. Markets are open. Ooh, violent push up. Okay, now I don't see anything. All right. So we almost got filled on that one. Now we're along the DAX. Along the DAX. So my daughter just came in. So there we go. Peaking above overnight high. So be careful, that can, if that acts as resistance, that can snap back. So I'm deleting the short order. Deleting the short order. DAX in a gap up situation. Yesterday's close was 25,361. Crazy session. Not the easiest for me. There we go. Come on, Duxy. Give a little more here. We don't want just 12 points, right? We want a little more. It doesn't want to go higher, the DAX. Maybe we get another push. It's the microstructure. You see that we are retracing here. Microstructure. Fancy word for saying the 1 minute chart. The lowest time frame that my broker allows me to look at. Slow enough that we can measure that. So this line here is 38.2%. This is a 50% retracement. Mm-hmm. 61.8% retracement. It's the most I'm going to accept. Closing DAX for minus 25. Closing DAX. Voluntarily. Because this is not going. And if it's going, it's not going now. So, see, in the 5 minute chart, we're getting a rejection. So what I call the karaoke espresso would dictate a short pretty much around here. So I will put in an order at 452. If that gets filled, that would be lovely. But sometimes, you get something like that and it looks like, yeah, of course, that is bearish as it gets, and then it expands again. But right now, this looks like the biggest rejection I've ever seen on a DAX opening. But, sometimes it expands again. Sometimes you don't get sellers to follow through. It's weird, the open. To be very careful. Okay. We're short now. Short the DAX. careful not to get a double whammy here, right? But you agree with me that I saved a couple points here by, you know, that's what they say, no? Let your winners run and cut your losers short. So I did that. It's incredibly hard to do that, you know, because you always have hope. Right? So now the espresso short is triggered, but we are over 3 minutes, so I'm not going to add. Let's take a look at the FTSE just triggered the first bar negative, buying the fuck, that was 10 pounds a point. Let's get out of that. Sorry about that. A little bit too much. Okay, let's hold off a little bit if the DAX is so weak. Scratch that, I'm not touching the FTSE. I told you that I, for myself, trade in a little bit bigger size. Okay, it's not going anywhere. Closing DAX for scratch. Closing DAX for scratch. It's one of those opens that is non-directional and can't have that. So, close DAX for scratch. Strange open. Okay, but if DAX is indecisive, maybe we should buy the FTSE. Maybe it's exactly one of those mean reversion plays. Maybe I get another chance to buy it. There's also some levels down here. So stand by for a long position in the FTSE. Okay, I put an order in just in case we get another chance here. Whee. You see, I'm not always trying to blindly, blindly is the wrong word. You know, they say, take your setups without fear or hesitation. When it comes, you take it. So there is a first bar negative and you take it. But there's also this development, as Mark Douglas has described it, of a trader from mechanical to discretionary and then intuitively. I'm not saying that I'm such a great trader or whatever, but I like to, I don't know, take into consideration a little bit of context, what I see and what my gut tells me, believe it or not. If you watched the recording of yesterday's US session, was not proud of my holding powers. Wasn't look at DAX. Wasn't holding nearly long enough as I was hoped for in my Nasdaq trade. But the entry was because the Nasdaq looked weak. Yeah. So that was all I needed to know at that point. So that shows there is a little bit of intuition going on. And intuition is not like, don't call that really like trade by feeling, right? That's probably hundreds and thousands of hours of screen time and then pattern recognition and stuff that you probably haven't developed a vocabulary to express or haven't tried to express. But there's of course something that you've seen many times before, right? That to which you react. So let's look at the market structure of the DAX. So yesterday's session And session is from 9 a.m. till 17:30, right? Frankfurt time, which is also Prague time. So, and if you mark down the high of the session that came in here at 25,558.5, and the session low, which came in at 25,357.2, and the close was 361. So 5761. So that's why I wrote here close and session low, yeah, in orange. And then everything between the cash market close, yeah, again, DAX closes at 1730. So in between the yesterday's close and today's open, I simply call that the overnight. Tom sometimes draws a box around the price action from roughly midnight till 8 in the morning. He calls that the overnight range. Just don't confuse the two, even though today are pretty much identical. So, so you see that if you mark the high and the low of what's in between the two cash sessions, today's and yesterday's, you see that that is confined within yesterday's session. So, and what do we hope? We hope that we expand, right? We get out of it. Yesterday was a trend day, but one that completely reversed to the low of the day, right? So we closed basically at the low of the day. It's not one of those trend days that start down here and end up here. Oh, did I prepare actually something for you that I wanted to show you? Yeah. That was the Nasdaq. Forget about that. I will show in the maybe in the US session. Wanted to explain what I did there. So FTSE. Why don't I have candle numbers here? I should. Why are starting at 3:30? That's weird. There you go. So FTSE opened slightly gap up, filled the gap on the first 5-minute candle, and then had some buyers stepping in below prior bar low, exactly the first bar negative setup. And now question is, will that closing price of yesterday, which is a magnet, act as support, and will we see continuation for the bulls here? So to me, if you trade something like that, which is basically a mean reversion play, you're just hoping that that you get a reversal here, right? I don't believe so much in second touches, if you know what I mean. So we have a first touch, so I missed that. I got filled in a too big size that I want to trade publicly here. So about that. So I closed that, and then I explained something, and then it ran away. Also, I wasn't at that point. I was also uncertain because there the DAX looks weak, looked weak, right? And then this happened. So a second touch is in this case I want to buy the DAX again. Buying the DAX here. Let me just fill that out and then I explain the concept of a second touch. Which is really not that big of a deal. I think it makes logical sense, right? So, and you see this, right? So on the first touch of the overnight high, which is resistance, we were long on the espresso, and then bears were pushing that bar all the way down, and I was happy to sell short here. But somehow bulls found their balls again and pushed the market back up. And now we are on bar 4, we're getting follow through, right? So we're revisiting that high. Yeah? So bulls basically, what bears pushed the market down and bulls bought it all up again here. So that means that this resistance area here is likely overcome. Well, of course, can see always a range bound day, right? So this can still reverse on us. But to me, that is a sign of strength, right? So however, down here, we were basically hoping for a reversal. So we hope that buyers would step in below prior bar low, below the first 5-minute bar, which is basically the first bar negative signal. So, but if we don't see continuation and sellers revisit that level, guess what? That is not strong support anymore, because we were already down there. Yeah. So on the second touch, I don't believe so much anymore in that thing, right? Same with second touch double bottoms. Sometimes a triple bottom is very strong, depends all on context. But you know, if you just have a bulls go push it up a little bit and then it comes down, yeah, I probably would expect that then to rather continue down. Yeah, so I will now delete that buy order because so far that thing seems to work out and we're not in. However, if we went back down here again, that would be a second touch, one of the kind that I didn't want. So DAX, however, is doing okay. I'm just hoping that we maybe get up to the session high there. I will move stop loss a little bit up. Don't want to risk. Maybe 25 points, moving stop loss to 25,472.8. So the aggressive school run would trigger a long above bar 4. I'm not going to take it. I'm already long. I don't like the close of 4 too much. However, bar 5 is already trading out at the high of 4. And now we're slightly superseding it. So that's good news. So I'm of two minds now whether to take profit and make up for the for the loss on the espresso, or if I hold till we maybe get up here. I think I do that. Moving stop loss to the aggressive screw run. Okay. Ugh. $550 would be good, huh? Let's take a... Why can't I grab this? What's happening there? It is a little bit... It blows my mind. Why can't I take this take profit? I want to take profit at 550 and I can't grab that thing here. Blows my mind. Freaking me out. I'm closing here. Closing for plus 46. Close DAX. Oh. Software is just killing me. So why do I want to close at 550 and why did I freak out? I was freaking out because I couldn't drag that that take profit level here. I fear that this might snap back because we again we are now reaching into resistance. You know, I don't want to be a dick for a tick, if you heard that expression. You see that this is not an exact science, right? So the bulk of the movement is, or the safer bet here is to get out at the body here of this candle that made that session high, right? So that's what I believe, and that comes in at around 550. So that's where I wanted to get out. So. And I wanted to drag my take profit there, and I couldn't. And if you have seen what happened here, you know, we're going up, then we're going all the way down, going lower, then we up. So I expect nonsense like that to happen here, right? I don't expect that shooting up in a straight line if you see this price action. Yeah? Even though we're technically printing bull bars here in succession. Yeah? But look at that. So that wasn't so bad. It's not really snapping back instantly. And there's some buyers even stepping in. So shouldn't be, could have been more relaxed, to be honest. Technicality. Yeah. So if you're still in that 550, or if you're brave, session high. Oh, it's a good target. There's 550. There you go. So, and up here is yesterday's session high, so there's a danger that we double top there, but we might not. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Now trend days usually happen to me after I least expect them for some reason. So I want to draw my overnight high again. That was around here. So interesting. So we're coming up to school run. Yeah, FTSE would have been an excellent first bar negative. Look, we're all the way up here. Oh, that's accelerating, huh? Yeah. High and the low, 480, 55. So that means a 75 point candle range. So okay, here's maybe this is already the reaction to resistance here, just that little bit that we see here on the 1 minute chart. So if it would just shoot straight through, would also be crazy, right? So, but you know, so in that case, that would be good for us if we were to take the school run long. So let's call that here the first touch, right? So bulls are already taking profit, right? So we're pulling back. So the question is, do we reverse like really, or do we just see a pullback? And then if we then buy here on the second touch, on the school run long, chances are that we see continuation. Yeah? And I'm perfectly willing to bet on this. Yeah? Okay. Yeah, as I said, close is close enough. Yeah? Lower low double tops exist, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah? Still closing around the midpoint and above prior bar high. I will put in a school run long order here. I'm not playing the short side because I don't know. If this is a range, I would be fiddling in the middle. If it would get reversed from here, no evidence for that. We're still in a gap up situation. Still looks like that here. On the daily chart. Stop loss would be below the signal bar. Top. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, give me your questions. I'm a little bit sorry about that, FTSE. André writes in German. Guten Morgen, lieber Andi. Wünsche dir und uns einen erfolgreichen Trading-Tag. Grüße aus Hamburg. My brother André, this is an English-speaking channel, even though what you wrote is very nice, and I wish you the same. Kindly translate that to English, so I can read it out. Questions are welcome, comments are welcome, no worries. Felix is asking an interesting question. Good morning. What's your experience with trading the Hang Seng and Japan 225? Yeah, so my experience is that the action happens while I sleep, so I usually don't trade them. However, I was in Macau on that Al Brooks event as part of Tom's entourage, and there I was sitting there, you know. I mean, maybe I should have listened to Al Brooks and all the Tims and even Tom. They were all on stage, but you know, I was doing that, but I was also sitting there and trading. And I can tell you, those indices move. I mean, they move. Bloody hell, those fuckers, they really. If you are in that time zone, or if you don't mind disrupting your sleep schedule and doing irreparable damage to your nervous system, yeah, go ahead and trade them. They move. I extracted hundreds of points. I have no experience trading them. There was even there was Tim Stout on stage. No, he was trading the DAX. Someone was on stage, and he was trying to buy the Hang Seng or Hong Song or whatever. However they speak that out. Apologies if I do that incorrectly. And I was like, nah, that looks weak. And I sold that, and wow, that thing moves. Bloody hell. Nikkei also made hundreds of points. That was really, really good. Look how hard it is to make 50 points in the DAX here after the open. On a day like this. This year, this is crap. You don't deal with that typically in those indices. Huh? So if you're in that time zone, don't shy away from the Asian industry. There were so many. It was also surreal. Like 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5 guys from the audience. They knew me. You know, obviously from my appearances here. But that's crazy. You fly half around the world, and they all wanted to trade the U.S. indices. Because guess what? Americans do that, right? So if you talk to Al Brooks or whatever, he's trading the S&P 500, the E-mini futures, right? So it's trading that, and they wanted to know how that is and how that works, and I was just like, are you guys crazy? You know, you have those great indices that move a lot. Just go and trade those, right? Johan says, daughters are the best. You gotta love them. True, I certainly love mine. Just innocently walked in here. She's not used that I'm trading live. I just do that once per week. And the EU session usually is where she's in kindergarten, but there's summer holidays now. So Fred from Cyprus. I just started trading with you and Tom last week on Fridays. I must be honest, I've never experienced these losses like this before. Are you guys just having a few bad days, or is this the standard? So, first of all, Fred, I even read out a disclaimer, right? I do that. Tom has pinned a message on Telegram, and he has this disclaimer on his website. So, but let me tell you, this stream and its recording is for educational purposes only, right? So, if you follow me or Tom, you do that at your own discretion, right? And at your own risk. And I personally, Tom, he has maybe a different opinion on that. I don't know. But I personally, I would not do that. I would take the education and I would try to learn to trade for myself, right? What we are trying to do is teach a man how to fish, right? so that he's never hungry again. And we all have different, we are all different people. Trading is super personal, it's highly individual, right? So, and we all have different risk personalities. So if you follow Tom especially, that gentleman is a high stakes day trader with an exceptionally high appetite for risk. So Tom just follows momentum and adds 100% on top, skyscraper style, at the highest stake size that the broker would allow him. And he doesn't take half profits, or rarely does that. It's not like he hasn't done that before, but rarely does that. He just takes the whole thing. He always goes for the jugular. So that means if you trade like that, when you add, it goes in your favor, right? And Tom never adds to a loser. I never add to a loser. So if it goes in your favor, so you can argue, okay, you have more confirmation than just the probabilities of the setup, right? So you add in, but you're also increasing your exposure. And if it goes against you, guess what? You get really a double whammy. And sometimes, you take trades in correlated markets, belong in the DAX and the Dow Jones. They sometimes might, especially they sometimes might do the same, right? So that increases your exposure even more. So that is, if you have the idea somehow, and probably because of what you see on social media, right, that professional traders don't lose or don't have losing streaks or whatever, you're completely mistaken, my friend, because they do, and they all do. And Tom has a public track record. There's, I don't know, thousands of hours of him trading live. There is probably hundreds of thousands of trading tickets posted here on Telegram. You can endlessly scroll up. So Tom had huge drawdowns, but at the end of the year, he always turned a profit, and a big one, right? But that's the thing. If you follow Tom, if you haven't developed the mindset to take losses because they're part of the game, right? You will take this personally, right? So the way how you phrase that question is, you can already see, like, you're disappointed. You take that personally. You wanted quick money. No, if you follow Tom, you have to take every single trade that he takes. And if you get angry before and stop after a losing day of his, you will not be in the recovering trades. Historically, they always have happened, right? But you will not be. So if you are of the idea that professional trading is about never to lose, you know, and having exceptionally high win rates and always close positive, yeah, that's not how it works, right? So it's not. I hope that answers your question. So rather, instead of being angry, rather look at this as a chance to see a professional trader like Tom trade. Also, you know, it's not like on social media after the fact where everybody did the right thing, right, without any proof. No, see how he recovers from that, how he deals with that. You know, that shows you more about the mindset that you still need to develop, right, to be able to pull that off. I think there's so many lessons to be learned. But if you're of the mind like, okay, Andi, Tom, you guys suck. You don't trade well. Yeah, well, then, but what can I tell you? You have to make your own experiences. Yeah. So, Bruce says Divergent not working half an hour ago. Okay, let's see if Divergent is not working. Is Divergent working? Is Divergent working? Works for me, Bruce. So, Marta from Austria. Good morning. Can you tell me which broker you recommend? Warm greetings from Poland, currently from Austria. Okay. So, Marta, you know, I don't want to recommend any broker. You can trade with whoever you want and whoever you trust, right? Yeah, however, Tom and I, we are with Trade Nation. Tom and I used to be with TD365, which is just a brand of Trade Nation. They now took it under the main brand, Trade Nation. It's a UK-based broker, and they have, depends. They offer high leverage, and then you have basically, I think you are under the Bahamas regulator. It's obviously less regulatory oversight than a tier 1 regulator in Europe. They also offer you that, but that means fewer leverage, right? I believe you can choose, but depends where you live. However, I'm with the Bahamas, high leverage. Your funds, they are not in the Bahamas. They live with Barclays Bank in London, and I have no issues. The reason why I'm with Trade Nation personally is because they have low and fixed spreads. So you see the difference between the bid and the ask price here in the DAX is 1 point. Here in the FTSE is 0.8, and that's what you're going to pay always, right? Other brokers, they usually have CFD brokers. They have variable spreads that may just suddenly widen because of whatever volatility. Doesn't happen here. Yeah. So I'm an affiliate of Trade Nation. So but I will not post any affiliate links here, whatever. I'm just a guest. This is Tom's channel. This is Tom's audience here. So I will be very, very careful. Just full disclosure, so that you know where I'm coming from. However, before I became an affiliate, I was trading a couple of years with TD365, which is a brand of Trade Nation, which doesn't exist now anymore. It's now we all were migrated to the main brand, right? So, so that's where I'm coming from. To me, I don't care if they A book me or B book me or whatever they do, right? as long as I'm treated fairly and the execution is good. Honestly, Trade Nation's platform vanilla is a little bit, let's say, as much to be wished for, but with the with Tom's trade from chart extension here, you you should have a good experience trading with that. So yeah. But again, nobody requires you to trade with any specific broker here. Here's some people who trade futures, some people who trade prop firms, here's some people who trade with IG, with IC markets and whatever, and this is absolutely fine. So yeah. Yeah, that's it. All right. Hope that answers your question. So, Joseph says, hello, if you were stranded on an island, which indices would you take with you? You know, I hope I would be on a tropical island somewhere in the time zone where I could trade the Asian markets, because they bloody move. They move. That's what I would do. So I do live in Prague. I have family here. I will probably not go anywhere else. I will turn 50 next year. But if you're young and free and whatever, maybe just move to Asia. Hey, my mate Robert from Poland also recommends Trade Nation. Thanks, Robert. No, it's not going to be a Trade Nation endorsement show. Yeah, you trade with whoever you like. So, Manny from the United Kingdom. Hi, Andy. The last question by the gentleman, in my humble opinion, he would benefit from reading Best Loser Wins. Yeah, the gentleman who was pointing out that last Friday Tom had a losing day. It's also look, I think also Tom then at the end of the, just to be fair, at the end of the session, Tom was in a winning position and he was running it, and probably would have recovered a lot of the losses if he had taken profit, which he didn't, and then it went down back to zero. But that's also that should tell you something about the mindset of Tom. If you are not, if you don't do that, if you're not okay with getting stopped out for zero, you will never be able to catch the whole move, right? So if that's what you want, then you need to develop that mindset, and that's an iron mindset, especially when you've taken a few hits. You know that expression, trade the markets and not your account. Yeah, but if you're already behind, if you have like 5 losses in a row, that's incredibly hard. If you suddenly like, oh, if I close this now, I would be break even, for the day. Your mind wants equilibrium. You might take exceptionally high risks, to make your money back. But as soon as you have or close enough, that aggressiveness stops. So just take the lessons out of that, mate. It's just I'm guarantee you, you probably, from the way you phrased your questions, you haven't developed that mindset yet. And that's true for probably 99%. It's probably also true for me. I also yesterday I closed too early my Nasdaq position. I was short. I closed too early, and I was really furious about that. Yeah, it was very hectic for me. I fired a lot of trades right out of the open, and I needed to take a short recess because I also don't want to do anything stupid. I also don't want to run after the market, and it's all good and true, and I had excellent reasons for everything. But the fact was, I captured maybe 40% of that move. So that just doesn't sit well with me, right? So, and but that's me, and I'm absolutely honest about that. I'm not sitting here and pretending I'm a copy of Tom. Yeah, I am not. Tom also has flaws, right? But yeah, the way how he hammers his winners just makes up for them, right? So Marta says thank you, very welcome. So James says, James from Australia. What time is it there, mate? Hi, Andy. Thank you for great work. I think I can capture the right trade quite well, just not unable to add to my right position like Tom. I had a lot of fear if the profit disappeared. Do we add at the top of the bar when the trend is proven, or do we add at the correction of the trend? Thank you. Adding position is a double-edged sword. I was watching Tom trading live with huge size. I truly admire his calmness and discipline under pressure. So, excellent question, James. So, let's say there are traders out there who add to losers. Sometimes they call that averaging in, right? So let's say you're long, but the market goes lower. So that means also, the lower it gets cheaper to buy. So you buy on the way down and then hope that on a pullback you get out for break even or whatever. So, however, the danger is that if there is no pullback and it breaks, you're fucked, right? So, you said you capture the right trade quite well. So that means your entries are good, and usually the exits are the hardest part, right? So the entries, they might be based on price action, might be based on statistics, might be based on structure. So whatever concept you're using, or maybe even intuition, looks weak, looks strong. Whatever intuition you're using there, whatever concept you're using there to get into the market, and even if you're the master of price action, even if you're Al Brooks himself, the truth is you don't know what's going to happen, right? You don't know. So it can go up, down, or sideways, right? Or in fucking circles. You know which movie I'm talking about, right? So anything can happen. So when you're increasing your exposure. Let's say on your position you risk 1% of your account. Yeah? 1%. If you add skyscraper style another percent on top, yeah, your exposure is now 2%. So what did you just do? Is that bad risk management? Well, at least when you're doing that, add to your winners, then the market has already given you information. This is better than just reading price action or having analyzed the market or statistics or all kinds of analysis, really. You have confirmation it's already going in your favor. So if you increase your exposure, if you want to risk more, if you want to bet more, do it when you have evidence that at least for now it's going in your favor. And it sometimes still turns, and that's where the double-edged sword comes in that you're talking about, right? But overall, that is a winning concept. So the best traders, they add to their winners, right? Especially the old school traders. Tom certainly does that. You don't need to add 100% on top. That might feel a little bit too much, right? At 10%, at 1%, whatever small size your broker allows you to trade, add a fraction. Or move stop loss to break even after, I don't know, you have a large enough buffer, and trade it a little bit, and then trade it a little bit in profit, and then add something that resembles what you just locked in, right? So look like a business. You're reinvesting some of your profits that you already have locked in. Yeah, there's so many concepts to adding. Just get used to it. Develop a feel for it. You're asking me basically, what's the logic behind? What's the system? That when you watch Tom, there isn't really logic behind. You know, that guy probably can't explain what he's doing there because of the thousands of hours of screen time and pattern recognition. Sometimes just by how the bars are moving. Yes, I don't know, millions of reference points in his brain, and was like, okay, that will expand further, you know, or that might snap back like a rubber band, you know, where it's the eclipse of the expansion, you know. So there's a lot of intuition in there, right? So, but you can make it mechanical, of course. So if you have a trend, where do we have a trend? So let's say the FTSE here, that's a good thing. You could add on a pullback, right? So what is the trend? Till about here, definitely was one. An uptrend is when you make higher highs and higher lows. Look how this high here is higher than that high. Look how this high is higher than that high. Look how this high is higher than that high. Look how this low is higher than that low. Look how this low is higher than that low. Yeah. So now imagine you're in that. This is the 1 minute chart and nothing happened. But I just wanted to show you an example, or take this one here. Right. So imagine you're making higher lows and higher highs. You're in a healthy uptrend. So you could add on a pullback. How large is the pullback? As I said, it's never an exact science, but you can, of course, you can just measure the first one, right? So I move that over. That wouldn't have worked. So here, your add-on wouldn't get filled. Okay, so you now measure this one. Now you move that over and see a kind of checked out, right? So see that? Or if you have something like that, Brooks would call that always in short. Like just sell for any reason. So you could add every X points. You could add on close of a bear bar. But look here, you know, it's one retraced, you know, you have to also withstand a little bit of heat, you know. But if you held till down here, of course you would have been rewarded. And here probably the market is slowly telling you maybe you should close, right? So based on structure, whatever. So you can add for any reasons, any X points on a pullback, on a close of a bull bar or a bear bar. Just get used to it, get a feel for it, right? So, and yes, Tom is doing that in huge size. Oh, look how the school run would have worked short. Didn't expect that. Imagine we would have sold that double top there, right? So I'm deleting. Let me delete this order. FTSE, I mean, if it would still be long, we would still be happy. But this year is a downward tilting channel, right? This is a bear channel, making lower highs and lower lows. So we double topped here with the high of the day, and now we're trading lower. Now question is again, well, at one point, well, is this a bull flag, or is this a true bear channel and it goes down? Right now it's teasing you to buy, right? But if you are not a breakout trader but a range trader or mean reversion trader, you would exactly sell high now, sell here, even though it goes against your intuition. Even though my intuition is that breaks higher, but that's just me. Okay, so it's also not, look, we would be back at entry. It's also not a clean breakdown. Let's get rid of those espresso boxes. Let's measure the retracement. Look at that. That is, we came back almost to the low of the day. I know, this that here must be close to 90% here, right? So that looks like so far, unless we break down further, so far DAX is in a trading range. The high is up here, low is up here, and now, as I said, I wouldn't like to fiddle in the middle. Yeah. So if you assume you're in a trading range, you want to trade the extremes. Now you want to sell up here, you want to buy down here. You don't want to do something in the middle. So far, a lot of overlap, or you could call it chop, right? No clean moves. So I'm holding off. I would, if we get back up here, I would buy the high of the day. Would have no problem, and I would sit it out with you. But I don't want to get chopped up here. I also don't want to trade the Andi after we have 2 consecutive bull bars here. I wouldn't want to do that. And school run short. Well, but till here it looked good. 30, 29, 30 points at maximum. So we're back at overnight high. Now it looks like rather buyers are stepping carefully in the FTSE. Strong now, huh? And there is always some, it's like somebody put the laundry here on this line here, right? It's hanging from there. It's always market is testing this area here, and then so far always got rejected. Now here, down here, it looks like the buyers down here. Here DAX is cheap enough to buy, and the question is, do they get a close above this area, above the previous highs here? Yeah. Fuck. So anyway, questions. Baldur, 100 points in the Nikkei equals 40 points in the DAX. There's no sense to compare the difference in absolute points. You have to look at the percentage and the average, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. But brother, they move. You know what I mean with they move. You know, there is less choppy chop chop. There is more continuation. That's what I mean. Yeah. Of course, the risk and the stake size is dependent on the price that the respective index trades at. Bloody hell, Baldur. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Come here, Asian. There. So, take the Nikkei. I mean, look at that! Boom! 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 Okay, see what I mean? Look at the DAX. Can I make it more? I don't know how to express myself any better. That's what I meant, right? Not like, oh, the Nikkei trades at 65,000 and the DAX is trading at 25,000. That's not even half. So adjust your stake size and your stop loss. Yeah, sure. We all get that. I hope we're all intelligent people here. I'm just talking about the chance that you have to be in a move like that is exceptionally higher in the from what I've observed. You know, I didn't study it extensively, but look, in the DAX you get a trend day, every 5 days. So if you want to make a couple 100 points in the DAX, yeah, you have the chance maybe once per week on average, right? So, and in the Nikkei, you can make a lot of points every day. So Hang Seng every day. That's what I mean. So Paul, hello Karaoke Andy. And Andi, sorry for spelling your name wrong. Don't worry. That's just my nickname. Andi stands for Andreas. That's my full first name, right? My first name is not Karaoke. Right, that's just my moniker. Bestowed upon me by Tom himself, by the way. So, but Paul, no worries. Whether you call me Andi or Andy, that's both is fine. You are spot on about the Nikkei. I'm Australian and started trading in a few weeks ago. It's a beast and often moves 200 points during a 2-minute candle and averages 1,600 points for the day's range. Lots of dollars to be made, but nerves of steel required and very wide stop loss. Moved over 1,300 points by 10:30 a.m. during today's morning session. Now, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody from that time zone confirms that. So, thanks, Paul, for backing me up here on my view on the Asian indices. If I lived there, I would trade those. But I'm German, and I do live in this time zone. And at least in this time zone, I get 2 opens to trade. The EU Open, the Frankfurt Open, right? The London Open. Let's call it the EU Open. And the New York Open, right? So that's the benefit of living here. So I kind of specialized around the opening volatility, first 90 minutes after the open. And I get to do that twice per day and have a nice couple hours in between where I can have lunch, smoke a cigar, go to the gym. You know, it's pretty cool. If it wasn't for the preparation and research and the other shit that I'm doing. So, anyway, Keith. Morning, Andy. Did you enjoy Al Brooks' event? What was the most interesting thing that you learned there? Yes, I took the Al Brooks course a couple of years ago, and now I'm going through it again. Yeah, so I was just fascinated how they can really tell a story about every bar and buyers and sellers. And we should be short the DAX right now. We see continuation, but I didn't expect that. So anyway, so that to me is very fascinating. I don't even have developed the vocabulary to express what I'm seeing. I try for you to narrate a little bit, but they do that so eloquently and stuff. But you know, I also saw a discrepancy, and I say that with the greatest of respect between what they teach and how they trade. Well, first of all, they all trade very small size, right? Like myself, but I'm not charging $2,500 here, you know. So that's the thing, and they average in, they add to their losing positions, and to me, that's not a game I want to play. To me, that's a little bit cocky, you know, to pretend to know so well what's going to happen that you dare to add to your losers. So, and then they talk about always in long and whatever, and then they're not always in long, you know, they're just scalping a couple points. I don't know. So that's a little bit. I say that with the greatest of respect for the academical work that Al Brooks did there. I studied his material and his books, and I believe there is tremendous value also in studying that. But I can't help but notice there is a discrepancy between what they teach and how they trade. So that's my take on that. So Zaifur, I believe in the past Tom recommended Trader Guide to compare some brokers. Yes, I believe he did. So gold bars. Yeah. Sudden weakness now in the indices. But look at that overlap. It always, if you look at the bodies, looks like a clean move down. But look at the high of bar 5 here superseded the high of bar 4 on the 15-minute chart, right? So now, again, you could just scalp the overlap, you know. I used to scalp a lot. So this is something, if you look at that, and all the bars overlap a lot, yeah, so buy below, and be happy, right? So anyway, Gold Bar says, hello, Andy. Do you ever hold overnight or weekend trades? Do you swing trade? Thanks for sharing your wisdom. Oh, Look, brother, I'm an intraday trader, right? I try to close everything intraday. I'm trading with a CFD broker. If I held overnight, I would have to pay overnight fees. I usually don't do that. It's very rarely that I did that. Because also the overnight market is a little bit unpredictable. There's such thinly traded. I don't even know where those bars are coming from. The market is closed, and still there's some trading going on, probably in the futures market or whatever. If you look at CFD brokers, those bars might look different, especially between session times. So there's a big chance that that you get stopped out there, and you don't know why. So I don't know where that comes from, honestly. 100%, I would have to ask Trade Nation, right? What are you showing us there? Now I'm sorry that I'm not short the DAX. Getting out at the low of the day. So if this is the trading range, we should buy the low. I'm not a mean reversion guy. Shall we just do that in small size, just for the sake of it? So assuming this is a trading range, we just buy here. So if I were to swing trade, I would probably trade futures, because there you don't pay overnight fees. However, trading CFDs is usually cheaper for intraday traders. The reason being is that with futures you pay a round trip. You don't pay overnight fees, but you pay for the close, right? Pay for the close. So so this is something I don't encourage you to follow me. For that, I'm not often enough here. But I'm usually here only Wednesdays. But if you follow me here, maybe on this one, this is just for demonstration purposes, right? So assuming we have established a trading range, assuming that, looking at the UK index, that looks even more so like a trading range right now, to be honest. There you go, already 16 points, 18 points in profit. Stop loss to break even. Let's see if it goes. I mean, of course, it's also a micro double bottom with the low of the day, so it can just go 14 points up, and that's about it, right? So okay, yeah, whatever. I want to show here a little bit, just show you some philosophy or some concepts here, really, than to deliver points. But of course, I want to have profitable trades. So this web low of the day, micro double bottom, overlap scalping, both. That what would justify a buy around here. However, the trading range theory needs to be confirmed, right? So stopped out for 0. We have had 1, 2 bull bars. We had a really nice double top up here, and then 1, 2, 3 consecutive bear bars. Plus a screw run short that I didn't take. Fuck knows why not. I explained it, trading range and such. So, and look at the overlap. Don't look at the bodies only. That would not be a clean move to be in. So, but yeah, could have held till the low of the day. So far, we made a new low. So there's some merit to at least take a scalp down here. I think I've demonstrated that. So now it's the question, do we see continuation down here, or does DAX trade back into the range? If I haven't moved stop to break even, it would still be in that. But I just wanted to demonstrate and not really, even though it's not really big size. Just don't want to, even if it's 12 euros, 50 or 25 euros, I don't want to piss it away like that. Just for demonstration, right? So, also don't want to use a demo account. That would also not be right. So, hi Andy, I'm Celine. Hi Celine. Celine is from Australia. We met and chatted at the Brooks Price Action event in Macau. Not sure if you remember me. I've been watching your live streams over the past few days. I've really enjoyed them. Very interesting. Oh, there you go. Nice to meet you again, Celine. Yeah, I believe I remember you. Hope everything is good. Hope your trading is successful. Hope you're doing well. Okay, so Igor from the USA should be sleeping right now. Hi Andy, when you started, what capital you started with, or what is the minimum recommend? No, brother, that's not the right mindset. You see, we're trying to fight that million-year-old operating system here, the reptile brain. The reptile brain is that one that screams, take that profit, right? No one ever got broke to taking a profit, and then you're not part of that move again, and that fucks up your win rate, and then you lose money over time, and the broker always wins, right? So the reptile brain is also the one that lets you revenge trade, that lets you go on tilt, that lets you fight or flight instinct, right? All of that, or reflex, however they call it. It's just a model to explain certain trading behaviors, detrimental behaviors, right? So we are all collectively trying to get rid of that and develop instead behaviors that are more useful when you're trading. And those behaviors, they might go against human nature. There's a saber-toothed cat, and you're rationally thinking, how fast is it? How sharp are the tooth? You probably would be dead, right? So fighting or fleeing at that moment, if you're full of adrenaline, is probably you have a higher chance of survival. That's why that thing is there, But in a winning position or in a losing position or whatever, you don't want that, right? So you need to first work on that, and for that you don't need much capital. You just need to put a tiny little bit on the line, even less that I'm doing here. So if I risk, let's say 100 points in the DAX at €1 a point, then my account size must be 10,000 euros, right? Does that make sense? So I'm saying you should risk much less, but put some money on the line. It needs to feel real. After you paper trade for a while and get confident and all of that, right? I'm just jumping over a couple of important steps here. But I guess what I'm saying is get used to put a little bit of money on the line and execute, and then you see psychologically, emotionally, what you have to work on. And the thing is, I always say, you know, I trade by myself a little bit bigger size, not like Tom, but a little bit. But now there's 1,000 eyeballs on me right now, watching what I'm doing. And the same is when you size up. Size is an amplifier, right? The bigger you trade, the more all those detrimental behaviors that you worked so hard to get rid of come back. Yeah. So you can't just because you're rich, you know, doesn't mean you can trade 100 euros a point immediately. You know, you need to earn that size. You need to slowly work yourself up there. You know, that's probably what I'm trying to convey here. Yeah. So, but yeah. No financial advice, right? But conservatively, 1% of your account size risking per trade is probably a good start. And I recommend starting very, 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 very small and work yourself up. Regardless whether you have the cash or not. You know what I did? I had a career before this. I'm not sure I should tell you that, but I put on my first trade and I lost 16,000 euros. So you know. And I didn't make that back at that point, right? So it's really I made a lot of mistakes, so you don't have to. So please listen to what I tell you. Earn that size first. Okay, so Cosmin from Romania says, hello Andy, I see you're a very good trader. Why do you trade with small account? Is it easier to manage the drawdown? I trade small size with you guys because you're watching me. I can't trade bigger size. Don't worry about my size, guys. Look, I get at the beginning when I started here, people were asking me because you were just used to Tom being there, right? And Tom just trades a huge account, huge size, and that's kind of his hallmark, right? He's a high stakes day trader. I'm not a high stakes day trader, right? So I trade. I don't do anything else than that, other than cooperating with Tom. So I have no job or anything else. It's really what I do. And what I'm doing here is I'm just showing you the execution, and I'm putting a little bit of money on the line to put a little bit of weight behind my words, right? So if I put a trade on here, or let's say yesterday's US session, I probably risked $100 per trade, and I put on 26 trades. So my risk was 26,000 euros. So that's not nothing, but that was also a lot of trades. But so you get an idea. If I trade by myself, I trade a little bit bigger size. Yeah. So, but don't worry about my size, my account size or whatever. I'm just here once per week, plus now on the holiday schedule. I'm here to give you a different perspective, maybe. Somebody who embraces what Tom is doing and his concepts and philosophy that's behind his trading has heavily influenced mine. But still, you know, it's maybe a different viewpoint, maybe a twist, maybe something that is also unique to me. Maybe I don't have that high risk appetite or whatever it is. Or maybe I'm not so far, you know, ahead like Tom, who's doing that for, I don't know, 25 years or so. I'm doing that since 2020. So maybe that is also more relatable to some of you who just started out, because you can probably relate more to somebody who is 5-6 years into the game than to somebody who's 25 years into the game. I don't know. So that's probably what I can bring to the table here. Don't worry about my account size. I don't put, look, if you look at this number here, that's not all the money I have. I use a concept that's called operating capital, right? Guess what? Why do you put money in a broker account? To be able to open positions, right? It's margin based. So you need money to open positions, and the bigger the position is, the more margin requirements, right? The higher the margin requirements. So if I say I risk 1% or 2% or whatever, that's based on an account size that is just virtual. Because frankly, I don't want my cash lying around in a different country, even if it's the UK, even if it's Barclays Bank, unused. Yeah? I'm not like Tom, who has made his fortune already, and Tom can just put 100,000 or 1 million or whatever into a trading account and trade it all year and don't withdraw anything. In my case, I withdraw regularly because I have bills to pay, right? So I don't want to have their money lying around that I don't use. Yeah? But that doesn't mean that I don't have more in case I really do something stupid to top that up again. Yeah. So if you think, oh, Andi is trading a 4,500 euro account, no, brother, it's not true. That's just the money I deposited there to meet margin requirements for the size that I'm trading. Yeah, so that's behind that. Yeah? So that's why you're used to Tom, who trades very transparently an account that puts on the 1st of January, puts there 100,000, and then 31st of December, here's the tally. Here's so for me to do that, that would require a lot of work in Excel. So all my withdrawals, all my trading for myself, trading with you, to figure that out actually. So that's basically it, right? So don't. I'm not Tom. I'm not doing the same thing like Tom here. I'm a guest who appears once per week to give you a different perspective, and sometimes back up Tom so he can go on holiday, and vice versa, right? So that's it. Chris SAS short triggered Andi. I've YOLO'd in house and car the lot. Oh, I hope. Okay, you should be fine, even though it's not really following through, is it, right? So the trading range theory so far, I wouldn't dismiss it yet. All right, so Timon, good morning, Andi. Do you read the first 5-minute bar in DAX as the first bar positive, or ignore that today because the candle is not so bullish? The first 5-minute bar in the DAX is not something, is not a documented concept that Tom uses. The first 5-minute bar is something that is an entry technique for the FTSE. Yeah, depending on the polarity, whether it's you do the opposite. If it's red, you buy below. If it's green, you sell below. Yeah, so first bar positive, first bar negative. Does the first bar have merit? Can find out. Here's this tool. So let's take the DAX. Let's take anything. First bar. What do you want? Say first bar positive. Could define here a little bit more. And then we would have to go through all those instances. Maybe we can click on. Oh, we don't have that. So yeah, we would have to go through that. Interesting. Because we're on a 15-minute chart. So let's assume first bar positive, and we would sell short below, like in the FTSE. I mean, a little bit in there, and then it reverses up. Sell short below. Okay. Sell short below. Sell short later below. It's probably no chance to sell short below. Sell short below. Happiness. Bap. No chance to sell short below. Later in the day, that was probably a news release. No chance. Yeah, that's the research you would have to do. A little bit of happiness, and then bloody hell. So you could also ask the question, what would happen if you bought it? Where would you buy? Above? Buy on close? Okay. Buy on close, shit. Buy above doesn't happen. Buy on close. Ugh. Buy above. Ugh. No chance to buy on close. Yes, you have. Not good. Buy above. Not triggered. And that's the kind of research you would have to do to find that out. So, Richard, I have said to Tom that sometimes he's like watching Federer, too good to initially aspire to. You are more relatable. This is a good thing. Thank you, Richard. So, Gisalo from South Africa. Good morning, Andy. Johan from Cape Town. I just want to thank you and Tom for the absolute consistency and high standard you maintain in not only the streams, but also the quality integrity of the information freely shared. In a world of easy and quick social media access to influencers, traders, I have found immense benefit listening to you both and realized the benefit of only exposing myself to you, Tom, and Al Brooks' team. You and Tom have forever changed my life. The insights, knowledge, and experience shared helped to calm the noise in my mind and taught me more about myself and being a good human than any formal education. Trading with you and Tom made me a better husband and all-around better balanced human. Thank you. Bloody hell. Giselo, I think that 99% of that is probably... But, you know, Tom has also, I think, made me a better human being. So I can relate to what you see. It's an incredible honor still for me and kind of surreal to sit here and doing that. I hope I can live up to that standard, to be honest. But thank you. It's very, very much appreciated. So, Unite from India. It's been 5 months since I've started trading, and it has been one heck of a roller coaster, to be honest. I'm trying to learn the fundamentals, read price action accurately, and to develop a solid trade strategy that is suited my personality. I found my strengths to be in day trading rather than scalping. What concepts, books, courses, resources, exercises would you recommend I complete to develop myself as a beginner? Well, this is time for the beginners FAQ. So I'm posting now Couple things. Boom. So, I invite you to go to Tom's website, tradertom.com, and here under resources you find a lot, and here under live trading you find also another Telegram group, which is really just something where Tom puts documentations, the Trader Tom resource channel. So if you're interested in trading like Tom does, that's a good start. Yeah. Generally, DAX. Bloody hell, moving stop loss to break even to prove a point. If I hadn't done that, now already in the middle of the supposed range, at least didn't read that wrong. Yeah, and of course L. Brooks. Yeah. Get those books. Maybe you can buy them used on eBay. Yeah. Read them, study them. Don't sleep. It's very hard to read and study. It's very academic, but certainly worth your while. And then trade a little bit on a demo account. Don't risk any money yet. You're a greenhorn. You don't know anything yet. So that roller coaster was completely unnecessary. 5 months in. Well, bloody hell, brother. So, but I was the same, you know. I just couldn't wait, right? But take some time for your education to learn that all properly. And then once you're through all of that, at one point you need to be like, okay, I know enough price action now. I know enough entry techniques. Because honestly, you might think that's the education that you need. It's completely useless unless you master the mental aspects of trading. And that might be a surprise to you, because probably right now you're just thinking, okay, shall I trade? What is that ICT guy doing? Fair value gaps. Oh, what is Al Brooks doing? What is Tom doing? And you're just searching for the holy grail. You're searching for quick money. Andi, how does the espresso technique work? You know, same thing. No, you have to work on this here. So the whole field is called trading psychology. So once you have some sort of edge, know enough technical analysis, you probably need to learn less than you think. But you're a greenhorn. You should study that first, right? So, and then there's best loser wins from Tom. But we're not only doing Tom here. We also do you know? I sometimes I lend out books, but there is Mark Douglas. There is Dr. Steve Ward. All well worth your while. So tame that beast up here, right? So the reason why your trading is a roller coaster is because we haven't developed anything yet that resembles emotional control while you're in the markets, right? So that's the real edge. So hope that helps, by the way. Katalin, hey Andi, can you tell us how you started trading, why and how? How was your first year? What you traded? What strategy? Were you in profit or loss? How about the next years? Why is interested in how I traded? I got into trading, but it's a very sad and personal story. I'm probably not yet ready to share that. It's pretty traumatic, actually. But I started around 2020, having had some experience in investing. When you have some success in your job, in your line of work. So I had a proper career in the German retail industry, and I also was self-employed as a freelance consultant. So I made a little bit of money, and I was fairly shocked on how little I knew about yeah, dealing with that in investing that. Kathleen, I will not share everything yet, but I will give you a little bit a rundown, right? So financial literacy is not something that's taught at school. We all know fairly little about that. So I informed myself, and being a German and being also, you sometimes see that I'm a no nonsense guy, right? I am very low in agreeableness. Extremely competitive, but because I'm very low in agreeableness, I believe I have a very well tuned in or functioning bullshit barometer. And now DAX is approaching the high of the range. Bloody hell, would have been a great trade. So anyway, so I just, and coming from the retail industry and e-commerce, I just saw what's going on social media with all those fake gurus for what it is. They are marketeers. They are there to make money, right? They are not traders. They are marketeers. They know how to leverage social media to amass 1 million followers, and they make money from the ad revenue share from YouTube, from the ad revenue share on Instagram and whatever platform they are on. They make money from shilling prop firm accounts or broker accounts, and that's where they make their money from, right? And since they're marketeers and not traders or investors, they don't care what kind of content they would do. Cooking videos, they would do cat content. They really don't care. It just happens that in the finance industry, the commissions are high, right? So for me, I was interested in day trading because of the high leverage. You buy a share, it goes up €5, and you invested €1,000 for that share, it goes up €5, you made €5. Yeah, thank you very much, right? No, I was interested in leverage and making more money. So look at other instruments that are there. There are options, there are certificates. There are many products that have leverage, and there's also CFDs. So I was interested in that, but who would I want to learn from? And seeing the industry for what it is, full of scammers, right? Full of fake gurus. To be incredibly careful. So I was automatically drawn to Tom Hougaard like a magnet, right? That's the guy I want to learn from, because he's trading live. He made back then there was no live streaming. There was just Telegram, right? But he would trade live and putting his own money on the line, right? So yeah, that's as real as it gets. And also what he said about, I fired a lot of trades in a much too large account for my knowledge and development as a trader. I was at the very beginning, lost a ton of money. But all of that that I was experienced there, the emotions and the reptile brain, and why do I actually cut my winners short? Why do I have hope when the position is in negative? The reason for that. And Tom talked about that in, I think that was some event in London that's also recorded. You find that on YouTube. That resonated with me, right? So yeah. So, and I was like, okay, that guy needs to become my friend. It actually happened. So yeah, that's a little bit my journey, man. So at one point I decided that also after COVID ended, my consulting business went a little bit to shits, right? So because the what do you do when you lose business as a company? First thing you do is cut things that you believe you don't need right now, and that's external consultants, right? So and I was managing projects and things like that. So, and also those projects, they cost money. Maybe you don't do them right now. So there was suddenly no business anymore. My phone would ring nonstop. I believe I did a good job. But then, at in my mid 40s, to realize that I have relied on something that I thought would never stop, like that there's demand for my services. Yeah, after COVID, that changed dramatically. So that's where, if you do something in your mid 40s, you better have your shit together. I have family. My bills are higher. I'm not a single 20-something-year-old, who can do all the mistakes in the world. So I have to go all in and I have to do it right. So that was also a huge motivator, being basically back against the wall. So, and whatever it takes, and here I am. So there you go. That's a little bit my story. If you don't mind, I this maybe at a later point I'm maybe ready to share more, but I don't want to really follow up on that. But that's what I'm willing to share so far. So 6 p.m. in Australia. Oh, that's not so bad. Louise, I'm struggling with entry point. Enter too late, as if I want to be sure before entering. Tja, Louise, what you are, there are two extremes, They're the ones that overthink, and then they're the ones who are too trigger happy, right? Who fire trade after trade after trade after trade, like a cowboy. And then there's those who are overthinking, right? You're probably one of those. Yeah, well, what can I say? Get in with an order. If you trade, for example, the school run is fairly easy. Or the first bar negative first bar. Oh, bloody hell, look at the FTSE. Okay. And now I would rather sell short because we're at resistance. But this is concerning. Don't want to force anything right now. You see, not being too trigger happy is also, I don't have any problems with entering the market. If you do that, maybe if you trade the school run, the school run is basically bracketing the second 15-minute bar, right? You go short below, long above. So guess what you do? With some offset here, you don't want to get in at the low because there is also the spread. So you get maybe filled. Look here, it would already get filled probably with the spread. And then you would have to puke through and before you got rewarded in that case. So put it 2 or 3 points below, put in your sell short order, and then just wait for price to activate you. Put a buy order above maybe 2 points. So, and that's how you can trade without needing to buy or sell at market, right? So maybe that helps. You need to look. The thing is, in trading, everything can happen. That book from Tom is called Best Loser Wins, right? And the reason why you hesitate is, of course, you fear that once you're in, you lose that money that you put on the line with your stop loss, right? So you want to be sure and really, really sure. It's like, Windows, I don't know, whoever of you is old enough to know still Windows 95 and Windows 98 and Windows XP and those Microsoft apps, they were asking, are you sure? Are you really, really sure? You know, asking you 2 or 3 times, and that's what your brain is doing. You need to be able to let go, right? Nobody knows what's going to happen. Sometimes they make it sound like they do, but what they're really doing is if you really listen closely, did they really tell that beforehand or after the fact, right? So to make a narrative fit after the fact is so incredibly easy, you know, because we all can look left and see what happened. But right now, for example, in the DAX, I have no fucking clue what's going to happen. So will we test the high of the range? Are we even in a range? Or are we in a bear channel? So in a range that has a downward slope, right? So we made here technically a lower low, and we made here maybe a lower high right now. So I don't know what's going to happen, right? So would I enter right now just in the middle of a supposed range? No. Right? But you saw me just entering on Espresso. Yesterday I fired trade after trade in the Nasdaq, in the Dow Jones, in the US session. It's very well worth watching. I was on fire there because stuff was moving, right? Right now it's slow. So you say it helps, so I'm glad that it does. Safety first from South Africa. Andi, I'm a couple of fries short of Happy Meal when it comes... couple of fries short of a Happy Meal. Why do we eat a Happy Meal? It's not good for you. McDonald's is garbage, brother. So, when it comes to figuring out Telegram, I have found a plethora of scam channels whilst looking for you. So just to know it is you, could you scream or poke your forehead on the video? Sorry for the weird request. Safety first, yeah. Okay. Brother, if this is a channel, right? And that channel has admins. Yeah, you can look for that. I'm one of them. Yeah. So you can also click on my little icon there next to on that little bubble there next to the text that I'm posting, and then you find that my username is Karaoke Andi. Yeah. So at Karaoke Andi. Same with Tom. Yeah, I can show you. So if you see, this is the channel, right? So if you click on this here, on my little bubble face here, bubble with my face in, now you find my Telegram handle, and the same with Tom. Yeah. Same with Tom. Hope that helps. P.S. Hi, Andi. I'm wondering if you're willing to share how much and if you lost at the beginning. No more follow-ups to that. So, Tim G. Hello, Andi. Maybe in your answer to FAQ 2, could you put in yours and Tom's Telegram messaging addresses? All the best, Tim. As I said, Tim, click on the bubbles. Click on the bubbles. Don't delegate stuff that you can find out in 10 seconds to me, because guess what? I would have to click on my bubble, copy and paste my username, click on Tom's bubble, copy and paste his username, just for your convenience. You know, why should I act as your personal assistant when you can figure that out yourself literally after I showed you what to do? So I think that's fair. Somebody from Kelt from Denmark is just waving at me. Hello. Sven. Hello, Mr. Andi. Why are you calling me Mr. Andi? Because you think Karaoke is my first name and Andy is my second, right? Hello, Mr. Andi. I'm Sven, trading from Thailand and also trading the Nikkei every day, most of the time pretty clear directions. About your discrepancy, you have seen about teaching and trading themselves. I can be very clear about that. They don't trade for a living. They sell seminars and coaching for a living. They're teachers and educators, not real active traders. Greetings from Thailand. Yep. There you go. Pardeep Sharma says, hello Andy, do you and Tom also trade gold and any other commodity? Everybody asks about gold. This probably will be FAQ 5. I don't care about gold. You're probably late to the party in gold. You just think now gold is all the hype and that's the holy grail. You should trade gold. That's where the money is, right? No, it's in stock indices. That's for the big boys. That's where the money is. Stock indices move, right? That's the most volatility. Not in gold. There's nothing wrong with trading gold. But you know, you can't just trade any market. Look, I trade just the first 90 minutes, maybe 2 hours of the DAX. I learned all the intricacies of that index, you know. So I would have to do that with gold as well. Can't just go in a market and, I mean, I kind of did that in the Asian markets, but you know, it's every market has its intricacies. If Tom trades gold or oil or something like that, maybe occasionally. But what you really see Tom doing here on the live streams is not trading gold or oil or whatever. We trade stock indices here. And there's nothing wrong with trading other instruments. I just don't know why do you want to know whether we trade that or not. Maybe you just have an idea of something that is hyped. You think we should rather trade gold because that's where the money is, or that's the holy grail. I assure you it's not. So R from Switzerland says, it's a cultural thing. Some Asian cultures to address someone with Mr. at the first name. It's used to address someone with respect for their age, experience, etc. Teacher, mentor, and yeah, what you do here in the channel. Oh, thank you. I was wondering. But you know, I call everyone mate and brother. So we're all in the same boat here. No need for pleasantries, even though very well received. Thank you. I wouldn't be mad if you just said Andy. So ooh, Paul, since everyone wants you to trade markets you don't trade, tell them you trade pork bellies. Yeah, or orange juice. Or soybeans. Yeah, you can trade that as well. Paul, since everyone does, and of course correlate pork bellies with gold. Lovely. Ooh. Good morning, Andy. You're doing well. Did you see FTSE? Hello. Okay. Andy, close the stream. The whales watching. They are taking actions against you, and I can't make money because of you. Whales are watching. Okay, what did I tell you about second touch? So to be safe, we could buy above here, but it's already past 11, so I'm not going to take any more trades. It's kind of a more educational session. So Michael, sorry, I'm very grateful for what you do. There's a wealth of knowledge and behaviors to be learned from you. And Tom, best regards from Poland. Thank you very much. Very well received. Hey, Ahmed asked a good question. Is brunch break now a good idea? Brunch break comes in at, I think it's 45. Yeah, but you know, since I know it's not, but that's just don't take my word for it. I read the market as if we're in a trading range. This is the top of the range. This is the bottom of the range, right? And for the bottom of the range, we have like really some lows here. So suppose that this is the high of the range. We're right in the middle of it. So, and there's that saying, don't fiddle in the middle, right? In a range, you want to trade the extremes. So you want to sell short up here, you want to buy down here. That's why I wouldn't take a breakout over this. I hope this is the brunch break. I usually don't trade it. So hi, Andy. Not everybody realizes that live trading is incredibly difficult and distracting, says Louis. Yeah, it is. And what does short 100% mean? Is it 100% of your account versus stop loss? Louis, my man, there in the channel, there's some pinned messages from Tom. Maybe you find your answer there. However, maybe that's also something that's interesting for a lot of newbies. So I will answer that now. What does that mean if I press here the button buy DAX 100% or buy DAX 50%, right? So that simply means 100% means no. That's a concept of Tom. So let's say you have a 10,000 euro account, right? And you want to risk 1%. That 1% risk equals 100 euros, right? 100 times 100 is 10,000. So you risk 100 euros per trade on a 10,000 euro account. So let's just assume that's the case. So what you do then, you place your stop loss and adjust your stake size, right? So Tom uses, and usually I do that as well, fairly fixed stop losses, more or less arbitrary. But let's say you place your stop loss 50 points away from your entry. So, and you want to risk 100 because that's 1% of your account, right? So 50 points stop loss. That means your stake size is 2 euros a point. 2 euros a point, 50 points stop loss. If I press buy or sell, yeah, I would risk 1% of a 10,000 euro account. So, and that position is the baseline. You know, Tom calls that 100% position, right? So Tom would probably do something like that. He would rather put here an arbitrary stop loss of 100 or maybe 90 or whatever, and leave the stake size fixed, right? Yeah. And as the account grows, he would probably just adjust the stake size. As the market trades higher, we're in all-time high territory, you might need to adjust a little bit the stop loss. But those numbers with Tom and me are usually fixed. So that means when I press this buy the DAX 100%, that means in this case, right, in this example, one lot, 1 euro a point, 100 points stop loss. Yeah? If I press buy DAX 50%, that would mean same stop loss, but half the size. Yeah? Full size, half the size. Yeah? Sometimes maybe you want to use a wider stop. Maybe you want to have 200 points, well, then you have to do something with the size here. So you could cut it in half, make things easier, you know. But that's what's behind it. Hope that answers the question. Joseph says, serious question. If you knew what was going to happen 10 minutes from now, how much would you risk? If I knew what was going to happen, I would just go all out, mate. I would just buy them till my front end rejects them. You know, I would just max out my margin till I get a fucking margin call. I would just go all in, man. But nobody knows what's going to happen, so that's a hypothetical question, right? So, hi Andi, sorry for asking a personal question. Simon from Bangladesh. Have you seem to be so young from Tom? I'm not so much younger. Tom, I believe, is 56. I'm 49. We're not so much apart. But yeah, we both have family. We both have fathers. So not really. We are both concerned about our men's health things, about our prostate size and whatever. So we have some things in common and to talk about. Tom is very obsessed about nutrition and sleep and longevity and workout regimes and stuff. So I'm not that crazy, but I go to the gym. Yes, I follow a specific diet, so we have something to talk about. If you knew what was going to happen 5 minutes from now, you'd probably sell your own grandmother. My own grandmother is already dead, so can't sell her anymore. And I would not sell out a family member for any money in the world. So that's for certain. Hello from Madagascar, says Miaro. I want to know how professional traders handle losing streaks. The beginning of July was very good for me, but since last week's I didn't get even close. Green day, keep losing and losing. Thank you. I don't know, Miaro, how long you trade. If you ever have been consistently profitable and you know that this is a losing streak that you're in. But professional traders, I mean, look at Tom. He's just living what he's preaching. What is Tom doing? He has losing streaks. People, never thank him if he makes 1,000 points in the Dow, But they certainly point out if he has a losing day like last Friday or whatever, I should tell you something about it. And guess what? Despite that, Tom is continue doing what he's doing. Yeah. And what's the alternative? To give up? No. Right? Of course, there are losing streaks. Everybody has them. Every professional trader has them. Right? Maybe at a professional desk, they have the luxury of a risk manager who will maybe, if a trader does something stupid, they will lock him out so he can't take any more trades. Maybe there will be a serious discussion with the supervisor or whatever. But we, as retail traders, we don't have a risk manager breathing down our back. We have to be our own risk manager. And that being said, a risk manager is not a trader. An analyst is not a trader. So you have to believe in yourself and continue to execute and to execute well. Not go on tilt, not try to revenge trade. It's not what I'm saying. Taking your setups as if you're trade the market, not your account, right? And can continue doing that and believe, unshakably believe that it's going to play in your favor eventually, that your edge will work out, right? Don't expect every week to be green or every day to be green. That's nonsense. Not going to happen. Yeah. So, but also take a hard look at yourself, how long you trade, how big your experience is, and if you had really like places in time where you showed consistency, so something that you can take encouragement from, right? Otherwise, you probably trade too big of a size. You should probably trade smaller, or maybe paper trade for a while. Maybe even take a break and think long and hard. The answers are always in your old trades. What you did wrong and why, right? That's just a gold mine. So I would encourage you, screenshot that, make yourself a book of horror. If you have a tool like this, if you don't, no worries, right? Take a screenshot, put it into PowerPoint, mark the entries manually, and then write down why did you get out? Why did you get out early? You know, what were you hoping to happen when it went against you? You know, what were you feeling? If you do that, that's a gold mine. So, Stefano, morning Andi, question for you: are you trading just one account? I think I already answered that, mate. So, yeah, you're absolutely right, Felix. Combine price action knowledge with the style of Tom, aggressive, adding to winners, plus your own touch to it. That's a, if you develop like that, that's a very good development. Yeah. Are you trading the FOMC tomorrow, Andy? No, I want to have a little bit of free time, guys. Wednesdays is my my evening off. I will go to a cigar lounge and after that to karaoke, and I will leave the FOMC alone. So you have to do that without me. Yeah. Andi, trading is a lonely job. I'm glad you're here with us. Losing or winning, no matter. From Wenceslav, thank you, brother. I'm glad that you're here with me. How do you get ready in the morning? What time do you wake up and what you get ready for trading? Says Joseph. Oh, well, you know, if you have family, if you have kids, especially young kids, you know, sleep is overrated. You don't get 5 minutes even of introspection, of meditation, of you know, I don't do any of that. I get up at around 7, maybe 6:30, 7. Then I have maybe half an hour before my wife and daughter get up, and then until they leave the house, there's absolute chaos. So I go into my room, I lock it, I block it with a chair, and I try to prepare for the trading session as good as I can. So what I do is the structure I showed you, what I usually mark down, right? So I do that, but most importantly, I take my book of horror. I take some trades that are really fucked up, or some positions that continued on, and I was already out. Stuff that doesn't sit well with me, to develop to prime myself, you know, for if I'm in a situation like that again, that I hopefully get it right this time. That's stuff that I do. I drink probably 2 coffees. After the morning session, I have lunch, I go to the gym, then I do some preparation for the afternoon session, for the US session, and then I do my thing there. Yeah. And sometimes a little bit of research, sometimes I study a little bit of price action, but you know, the emphasis is more on the mental aspects. So I do a lot of mental journaling and things like that. So how long take to become profitable trader? Asked Tomasz. Yeah, look, the thing is, Tom says that very often, practice doesn't make perfect, practice makes permanent. There was a guy yesterday who trades for 25 years, and he argued that on my social media, I'm on Twitter. Don't want to share that here. It's not my channel, right? So, but again, I was in a discussion there, and there was a gentleman who claimed he traded for 25 years, and he said that he rather automates a strategy to take the human element out of it. So what the hell did that guy do for 2.5 decades, a quarter of a century? the better part of his adult life, you know. What did he do? Did he ever work on the mental aspects of trading at all? I was just wondering, you know. So how long does it take? That's probably not the right answer. It probably can take a rather short amount of time if you're willing to work on the stuff that you are avoiding to work on, right? Your growth lies in the work that you are avoiding. I think that sums it up. So, and otherwise, a very individual journey. No need to ask me how long it took for me. Also depends how much time can you dedicate to it, what's your financial situation, and whatever, you know. No two journeys are the same. Oh, Tudor from Romania asks where he can learn price action. Al Brooks! Man, Al Brooks. You can learn price action from Al Brooks, right? And Tom doesn't have, the entry techniques are mechanical. But they're based on research. So Tom calls that situational analysis. But they're mostly just that, entry techniques, because Tom doesn't he doesn't believe in risk to reward, full stop. He just doesn't. And if you have traded for a while, the market didn't give you a bloody 2-to-1 on that school run here. But if you would have an idea of, okay, we might be in a trading range, I might get out at the low. Yeah, there was still some points to be made. You know what I mean? And other days, you get your 2-to-1, but you also would have gotten a 5-to-1, right? So there was much more money to be made. So you don't know what the market has to offer to you. So that's why Tom doesn't really. Tom's entry techniques are just that. They don't come with exit rules. As much as you want them to be that and something that you can backtest and get certainty, no, it doesn't work like that. Once you're proven right by the market, you're in the right direction, then hammer those winners, add on them, add to them. If you feel the urge to take half profit something off or to close the whole lot, add as an antidote to closing out early. Write that whole thing and then when you made a shit ton of points, then close everything. You know, not just a part of it, but the whole thing, right? So that's what Tom's trading is all about. Yeah. So, and I understand that usually beginners, they're all about, and not beginners, everybody's all about entries, entry techniques, because you think that's the most important thing. You want that to be the holy grail, right? You want that certainty. But trading is managing uncertainty. Trading is professional loss taking. As soon as you internalize that, the better, right? The sooner you will be able to actually reach your goals. It is possible, right? But you have to really work on your mindset. So Tom has a very specific way to look at it. There was one trader who said, I don't know, was it Bryce Gilmore? Somebody said that the market will give exactly what everybody wants it to be. So if you want the market to be very analytical and all of that, then that's what it will be for you. You know, then you will backtest, and you will have your risk to reward ratios, and you have your confluence and fair value gaps and whatever you are looking at, and your data and your research. Or it can be simply as sell short below the second 15-minute bar, and if you're right, add to your winners, right? So you choose what you want. But the market will never give you one thing, it will never give you certainty. Yeah? So Benny says, hello Benny, my friend. I want the market to give me a lot of money. Yeah, so if you want the market to give you a lot of money, then you need to take your ego out of it. But most of you guys want to be right. You want to read it correctly. You want to trade it in the right direction, you know. But if you want to make money, a different story. Yeah? Then you need to be a professional loser, because that will inevitably happen. Yeah? So Tomasz from the United Kingdom asked how long it takes to become a professional trader. And he follows up with, I'm asking because I do 3 years with 2 breaks, 3 months, and then burn my account and still can be profitable. Always have problems with stop loss. And I can't open big volume position because I'm scared now. Yeah, there you go. Mm, yeah, but you know, everybody is scared, right? When I put on a position now, I'm risking 100 euros. That's for me. That's not nothing, right? I'm not a millionaire. Um, so, and if that goes now 10, 20 euros in my favor, uh, do I want to close it out? Yes, of course I want to close it out, because I full well know it can go back to zero, or can go back to negative, right? So, and especially if you're blown up, and now your mind is set to one thing. Fuck, I want to make that loss back, right? You know, you want that equilibrium. So then you double up and triple up and trade a size that you're mentally not ready for, that you haven't earned yet to trade. Yeah? And that's even more scary. So if you can't hold at 1 lot, you certainly can't hold at 50 lot. Yeah? Of course you are scared. So take a break, look at your old trades, and start again small. You have to build up confidence again. You have to get back to doing things regularly. Yeah. Small, start small. Yeah? If you have lost a lot of money and you will not make it back, at least not right now. Just the sooner you internalize that will take a very long time, and that you need to build yourself up again. Look, if you weigh 250 kilos and have never worked out in your life, you can't just go to the gym every day and work out for 2 hours. You will die of a heart attack. It doesn't work like that. So you slowly damaged yourself over years. You have to slowly build yourself up, you know. Maybe just walking to the gym for a 250 kilo guy is enough. Maybe just doing 5 minutes of exercises is enough, because that's all that heart can handle, right? So slowly, start slow again. Yeah. At Psychota, win or lose, everyone gets what they want out of the markets. At Psychota. Thank you, Don. Thank you, Don. Do you swing trade? And with measurable for swing trading, people a full-time job? I don't swing trade, brother. Chris asks whether I'm swing trading. But look, here's the thing, you know. You would all agree that this looks like a range, right? So to sell short the top of the range, maybe on a double top, maybe on the high of a session, would have been a profitable strategy. So now look at the time frame, that's 50 minutes. But if I didn't tell you this was the 15-minute chart, you wouldn't know, right? Because the bars look the same. Just look, if I take the 4-hour chart, bars look the same. There's a double bottom here, or support that you could have bought. You could have certainly double bottom. You could sell short at double top here. It's a lot of sideways movement, buy low, sell high. It's a lot of bull bars that you could have bought on close, you know. It's actually there's the signal quality is higher on the higher the time frame, right? On a 1-minute chart, there's a lot of noise, right? but on a 1 hour, 4 hour daily chart, there isn't so much noise. Yeah, everything is much cleaner. But that's the thing is with swing trading, it's like day trading, right? Of course, I could just buy now the break above the first the second hourly candle here, but my stop would need to be down here. Yeah, so it's not awfully lot right now, but you know, if your stop loss need to be based on structure somewhat, right? So you don't get away with a 100-point stop loss on a 1 hour or 4 hour chart or whatever. You will need more. Let's say you want to buy the 4 hour chart. Let's say this 400 candle here closes in half an hour. Does it really? That doesn't matter. So probably it's just, maybe it's rather 1.5 hour. But let's say that closes soon, and you want to buy the bull close, right? The stop loss would need to be down here. So, and you see that is also not awfully long away, right? But you get my point. Yeah? If you want to play it safe and want to put it all the way down here, then you also, but then also your targets might be higher, right? You might want to get out here, yeah, like 300 points higher. You want to catch bigger moves. So the same stuff works on any time frame, and to me, swing trading is just you trade a higher time frame, right? So with less noise. So, but then you also need to, you can't just micromanage a position, right? If you're on a swing trade, if you buy on a daily 4 hour, 2 hour chart or whatever you're doing there, can't just go to the 5 minute and start micromanage. You know, you need to be also. It's different, right? You need to just let it sit there. You know, don't touch it for several hours. Because you're on a 2 hour chart. There's only in 2 hours will be the next candle. Don't touch it, you know. Go to work. You come back home after 8 hours of work. There's just 4 candles, you know, or 2 4-hour candles. You get what I mean, you know. You go to sleep, you woke up, it's just 2 4-hour candles. Yeah. That's it. The whole session here, the whole DAX session, for you, it's just 2 candles. No, but I don't swing trade. 7 is killing it. Sniper, I made any book suggestions to read for technical analysis. How often do I need to mention L. Brooks here? L. Brooks. So, hi Andy, please one question. While I'm adding to winners, sometimes the market reverses. It looks like adding to losers. Please, how to avoid this idea that makes us understanding that adding to losses. Mustafa, if you add to a winner, how can that be adding to a loser? I don't get that question, honestly. You need to be in profit. Your position needs to be in profit before you add. Yeah. So that means when your position is in the money, in the green, only then you add. If your position is negative, you don't add, right? So once you have added, now you have 2 positions open. Of course, can they turn to, can one or both turn to negative? Of course they can, right? And then you have to think what you want to do. Maybe you have to close one of them again. Maybe you have to move stop loss, or you just puke through and hope for the best. Whatever you do, once the both positions together have a negative P&L, you don't add anymore, because then you would add to a losing trade. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, of course, it can reverse to you. Yeah. If it reverses, and now you're in negative with both positions or 3 or whatever, you know, if you would then add, you would add to a loser, and that is a strategy that's called averaging in, and we don't do that here, right? So, hope that's clear. Quickly write if that's clear. Yeah, E from Denmark just took a trade in the Nikkei, made 165 points. Well done. Ay. Guys, it's 11:36. I probably can't take all the questions now anymore. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in. See you later for the US session karaoke.